So hello everyone, let's solve one more interesting problem on magnetic circuits. So let's read the question. This is example 6.17 and a rectangular iron core is shown in the figure. So you can see the figure, this is a rectangular iron core. It has a mean length of magnetic path 100 centimeters. Okay, so the total length, entire path of the magnetic flux is 100 centimeters or 1 meter. Cross section of 2 centimeter by 2 centimeter. So if I mark a cross section area here, it's actually a square cross section. So it is 2 by 2 centimeters, or I'll say 4 centimeters square. Okay, and relative permeability of 1400. So mu r is 1400. And air gap of 5 mm is cut. So this gap is 5 mm or 5 into 10 power minus 3 meters. Okay, because millimeter is 10 to the power of minus 3 meters. Cut in the core. 3 coils are carried by core having number of turns Na, Nb and Nc. So Na is 335 turns. So Nb is 600 turns and then Nc is 600 turns. Okay. And their respective currents are 1.6 amperes, 4 amperes and 3 amperes. So let me mark it here. 1.6 amperes and IB is 4 amperes and IC is 3 amperes. The direction of currents are shown. Find the flux in the air gap. So this is the question where we have clearly been asked to find the flux. So flux is unknown. So now if I go back to my overall procedure, so some videos ago I have explained this. So in this case, find the flux. That means this is unknown. Now the reluctance can be calculated because the magnetic path is given. From that we can calculate the reluctance. Similarly, ampere turns can be calculated, but then here there are 3 coils, so we have to find the resultant ampere turns. So what are the steps in solving the problem? First is to find the net ampere turns. Next one is to find the net reluctance. Then I have ampere turns and reluctance. So if I divide ampere turns by reluctance, I will get the flux. So let's get starting. So let's find the MMF first. Okay? Or we can also find the reluctance first, whichever you feel it is easy. So maybe since we have been doing reluctance, so let's calculate the reluctance first. Okay? So what is reluctance? Reluctance total is nothing but reluctance of air gap plus reluctance of iron. So in our magnetic path we have both. Okay? So what is reluctance of air gap? So anyway, the formula is length of air gap divided by the mu. So here we have only mu naught and then into cross section area. Similarly, reluctance of iron, length of core divided by mu naught mu r into cross section area. So this is simple calculation. So let's do that. What is the length of air gap? So it is 5 mm. So I'll say 5 into 10 power minus 3 divided by mu naught 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 into cross section area. Cross section is 4 centimeter square. So cross section area is 4 centimeter square or 4 into 10 power minus 4 meter square, because that's a conversion from centimeter square to meter square. You have to multiply 10 power minus 4. So this is the reluctance of air gap. Similarly, reluctance of core. So what is the length? Now here it is 1 meter, but then this 1 meter is the total path. So I'll to be accurate, I'll subtract 5 millimeters from 100 centimeters. So I'll write. So if I have 100 centimeters, that means 1000 millimeters minus 5 millimeters. So I have 955 millimeters. So therefore this will be 955 into 10 power minus 3 meters divided by mu naught. Mu naught is 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 mu r. So here for air mu r is 1, but here mu r is given 1400. So I'll substitute 1400 and then cross section of area is 4 into 10 power minus 4. So this is a calculation that we have to do. So let's quickly work it out. So 10 power 7 and 4 will become 10 power 11. 11 minus 3, it is 8. So I have 10 power 8 in the numerator. So I think the same occurs here. Okay. So I think that's it. So let's use our calculator and then we can do that. Oh, just a minute. I'll fetch my calculator. So I'm actually using my laptop to do this calculation. Okay, so we have 5 multiplied by, let me calculate it here, 5 multiplied by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zeros divided by 4 into pi into 4, and that's it. So this is the reluctance of air gap. What about reluctance of iron? So that is again 955 multiplied by 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 divided by 4 into pi into 1400 into 4 again. So this is reluctance of air gap. So total reluctance is nothing but sum of these two. So I just add the above two. So I get this answer. So 11304264. So let me write it down here. Okay, so what is the unit of reluctance? So it is ampere turns per Weber. Okay, so now we have total reluctance. Now the next step is total ampere turns. So you see, we can use the right hand rule to know the direction of the flux. Okay, so let's take A. So if I take my right hand and then keep the right hand in the direction of the current, then the direction of the flux it will tell. So it is, the flux will be upwards here. Okay. So this is the direction of the flux. Similarly here, if I use my right hand, the flux is left to right. Okay. Similarly, if I use my right hand here again, so where the thumb points the direction of the current, then the fingers will point the direction of the magnetic flux. So it is, flux is downwards. Now, if you look at the direction, so A and B are adding together, whereas C is subtracting. Okay, so the net ampere turns is nothing but NA-IA plus NA-IB minus NA-IC. So let's calculate this. So NA is 335 into 1.6 plus NB is 600 into 4 minus 600 into 3. So how much is this? So again I'll have to use my laptop to calculate this. 335 into 1.6 plus 600 into 4 minus 600 into 3. So 1136. So I finally get ampere turns as 1136 ampere turns. So I have R total and then I have Ni. So this is in ampere turns for Weber and this is in Webers. So flux is nothing but Ni by reluctance. That is nothing but 1136 divided by 11304264. So if I do this division, again I use my calculator. So I am getting an answer 0.00010049, or this could be 0.1 milliwebers. Okay, so I have rounded it off. So this is my final answer. So I hope you understood this problem. The only trick here is they have given 3 coils. So there are 3 sources of ampere turns, and depending on the direction of the current, we can find the ampere turns. So what happens if I reverse the direction in IC? Then the IC flux will be reversed. So all the fluxes are adding. So more ampere turns, we get more flux. So we can control the amount of flux by the amount of current and even the direction of the current. So I hope you got something new in this problem. So let's see more videos with more problems.